Oh, sorry guys. I guess you can hear me. I think I did something. Oh my goodness. I clicked the wrong thing. Sorry. Bear with me. Oh, guys, bear with me. I may have to try this again. One moment. Okay, I got it right. No one's here. That's okay. I don't know what that means. I know I will go ahead and say this for those who come after this. Google, who is now YouTube, does not care for me. They do not put my videos at the top. They put my videos way at the bottom, all the way at the bottom. So they're trying to force me to pay for ads, which I wouldn't mind doing if I had a budget for that. Those things are really expensive. So I just wanted to say that Google is trying to just keep me off of anything. And I have a few complaints in about them at the Department of Justice because I'm really upset. I don't know if you've seen in the news, but they're going through it themselves. But for them to put my videos very last, I'm just not happy about that. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and move forward. We are talking about today the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And this is their season 11, episode 8. And I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into it. Let's see. I don't know how I ended up with like 3 pages of notes. It's really a bunch of scribble. What happens is I'll watch the show and take notes, and then I'll miss some things. So over on Amazon, I have an account so that I can go in and watch the show again without any videos. And I know you can do that here on YouTube for a monthly fee, but I just use Amazon, But anyway, I am reaching out and talking to you about, again, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It's another one of my favorite Real Housewives. I'm trying to get back into showing that here on YouTube. And it starts out with, they show a few different clips. They show the clip where Sutton tells Crystal that she is jealous of her. Crystal tells Sutton she's jealous of her. And Sutton says, of what, your ugly leather pants? So they open up this particular episode with that scene. And then they graduate into Lisa Rinna and her husband, Harry, going into the grocery store. They are shopping for the event that Lisa is planning. And she's going to have a cake for Garcelle and, give a little Garcelle birthday dinner, which I thought was really sweet for a friend to do. I've had some friends over the years who have done that for me occasionally and vice versa. Those are always fun. And, good to do. So they are grocery shopping. Evidently, Harry is a great cook, you guys. He looks like a great cook as well. So she's then it goes over to Erika and Crystal playing tennis with Crystal's friends on the tennis court. And Crystal's really good at tennis. Erika is just kind of moseying along like she doesn't really want to. I really see Erika in transition of, in spite of everything she's going through, she's sort of in the transition of leaving a marriage where she knows she was a gold digger and she's trying to graduate into becoming herself. She's kind of in between that simultaneously with all of this other stuff going on. So emotionally and mentally, that's a lot. That's a lot. Now, on the legal side, and I'm not talking about the legal side when I'm talking about her emotions and her mental state, the way I perceive it anyway. But on the legal side, you know, I don't like the way she has not come out and apologized to the victims. I believe that she had to have known what was going on all of these years. She had to have known. Because if you are a gold digger and you're in it for the money, you're reading the mail. You know something's going on. So I do believe she knew about it. That does not take away from the point that I'm trying to make, that I really believe she is trying to come out of a marriage, like I said, where she didn't want to be there for anything other than the money anyway. In addition, she's trying to become herself. She's trying to become something she has not really had the opportunity to be, and that is herself. And I see that in her. And I'm going to point it out to you here shortly, whenever we get to the dinner at Lisa's. She is on the tennis court saying she's trying to motivate herself to get out and to start doing things. So that's the side of her that's trying to become herself. The fact that she's trying to motivate herself to do that is the part that is leaning and weighing on her as she exits a marriage. So they are actually playing tennis on Kathy's tennis court, I noticed, right? Kathy has this big breakfast or brunch there prepared for them. Looks like they're playing in the morning, and she has this, really great decorative muffins and everything out, just has it laid out for them. I still say, if you look at my video, the last video that I did on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, this is what Erika wanted all along. She wanted the independent single life. She was in her marriage for the money, and now she's getting exactly what she wants. Even though she is not having the services that she had in her marriage, she's talking about how she misses that to some degree. How can you miss something that didn't belong to you? It didn't belong to you. That was money that belonged to other people. So she values her privacy. She said that. She said that when she was talking to one of the ladies that she was showing the house to, or she said that at Kathy's whenever they were eating the brunch. And I told you that last week. This is what she wanted. So this week, what does she say? She says she really values her privacy. That's what she really wants. So she's glad to be out of the marriage. She just doesn't like all the things that it's taking to get her out of the marriage. So it goes, next scene is Kyle and Mauricio's home. They're doing their yearly Christmas family photos. I have just realized that this show takes place around Christmas time because it's always so sunny. I don't know if it's ever rained in Beverly Hills whenever they were filming The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It is sunny. And so they are taking their yearly Christmas family photos in red, and it looks beautiful. If you know anything about me, I think Kyle is beautiful. I have liked Kyle from the beginning. She is just a beautiful woman. And she's um, and this week, what I saw of Kathy is a little more relatable to me this week. I saw some of the humor that other people were talking about, and I saw her relatable because when she walked into Kyle's home as they were finishing up their Christmas photo, she had her pocketbook and it had everything in it. I was like, that's just like me. I mean, she had socks. I don't have socks in mine, but I mean, it's an idea. So, but she had all these things in her pocketbook. And her and Kyle, they sit there and they talk about their relationship and they bring up Kim. I think that with these sisters, there's always something going on. It is an ongoing sibling rivalry. I do say that I like how they handle it because they always talk about it. Even if they're yelling and screaming, they always talk about it and they come back together. So I do like that. I just want them to realize that they're older now and they just need to get it together once and for all. It's hard to do when you have alcoholics in your family or even former alcoholics in your family. And Kim has admitted to abusing alcohol to some degree. And, that takes a toll on any relationship. So Kim has changed her number and Kyle didn't have the number. I don't think that's unusual for them. A lot of people on the YouTube channels were saying, well, my sister, if my sister changed her number and I didn't have it, blah, blah, blah. However, if you are in an ongoing, inconsistent relationship with your sisters or your siblings, you're going to expect that you're not going to have their number at one. I mean, or if you do not have their number, it's not going to be a huge deal. You just get it and call them again. So Mauricio comes out, and I don't know what they were talking about, but Kyle was getting ready to give Mauricio a hug or something like that, and Kathy goes, well, we still have to be careful. So you guys, was that shade? I'm not sure if that was shade or not. There's really not a whole lot going on in this episode 8 of season 11, except when they get to the end. So I'm going to push it to the end. I'm not going to be here very long. I'm just trying to put in a lot of videos today. I'm trying to raise my subscribers. I think I need like 194 more subscribers, or do I have like 808? I need like 103 more subscribers to get to 1,000. I want to pause and say that for those of you who come in for the replay, please click the like button, subscribe, and the notification bell so you can get these videos whenever I come on. And also get down in the comments, tell me what you think about them, because I can only improve if you tell me how I can improve. I want to also pause and say that I have about, right now, 2 or 3 trolls. And I think one of them is a Google troll. Yeah, I'm real political. I think one of them is a Google troll. Okay. Like I told you at the beginning of this video, I have some things that I sent in because I'm like a little upset right now about how my videos are going. I think they should be at the top, and Google keeps putting them at the way bottom. I can't even find them. And I have, anyway, I digress. So anyway, I want to move on and say that now we go to Sutton's. The first thing, we're like Lisa and Sutton, they're all sitting around. Sutton comes into Lisa's house. I don't know how this happens, but no, Sutton comes over to Erika. To Erika's. And Lisa also comes over to Erika's. And the first thing that I saw Sutton wear, this is the first thing I saw that she was wearing that I actually liked. She was wearing this pink sweater with these big pearls wrapped around the wrist of the sweater and around the neck of the sweater. And I normally do not like turtlenecks, but I did love this one. I love that sweater. And it's probably some designer that I don't know the name of, or maybe I do know the name of, but I don't know the design. And she had on the pink pants. That's the best thing that I've seen her wear, is what she wore when she came to visit Erika, the pink. So we also, let's see here, what's next? I want to say this: Dorit's fashions are always on point, though. Now that I'm talking about fashion, Dorit's, I love Dorit's fashion. You know, honey, someone must be paying Dorit a good amount of money. So the next scene is we go to Garcelle's house. That's the scene I'm going to talk about anyway, because I can't recall what they were doing at Erika's house other than, oh, that's right, Erika was showing them her house. She was showing them the layout of her house, which is really very quaint. And it's very appropriate for a single woman, Erika's age. I know, why, if you're one person, why do you need all of this elaborateness in a big home? I mean, all the echoes that you're going to hear. I hear echoes in here, and it's not even a mansion. But so the home is very appropriate for her. So we're gonna go next to Garcelle's house, and it opens up. Garcelle is actually living proof about why young boys need men in their life. It opens up showing her son has, no, it doesn't open up showing him with the attitude yet. That's after they sit down at the dinner table. It opens up with Jax, who is 13. He is, I guess, taking a Japanese or an Asian course. So he's learning the language. And the camera, pans over to what Garcelle is cooking. And I'm going, oh, that is disgusting. I have not bought store-bought tomato sauce in years. I have not bought store-bought tomato sauce in years. I home make my tomato sauce with whole tomatoes, real garlic cloves, onions, every color of pepper that there is, and I do use the packet of spaghetti seasoning by McCormick's. I do put that in there, and with the ham, or well, now turkey meat. So when I saw her using that store-bought tomato sauce, I was like, that is the most disgusting thing that you can put in a lasagna or a spaghetti. If you make your own tomato sauce, you know what I mean. It tastes delicious. So at any rate, she's trying to be quiet because her son is studying. Homeschooling is difficult. Your mom, you got to cook. Your kids have to eat. You have to be in the kitchen. So if they're in the kitchen at the table during their studies, that's a different thing. And that seems to be where most kids are comfortable, is at the kitchen table doing their studies. But she has an office upstairs, but that's her office that she uses for the view. So he can't use that. She may need to put a different room someplace else in the house. I like Garcelle's house also. I think it's perfect for a single mom with two young boys. Again, you don't need all that elaborateness. It just makes sense. And she's right there in a beautiful spot there, in California. I don't know if that's Beverly Hills that she's in, though. It doesn't look like Beverly Hills, but it may be. Next, Jade, and Jax and Garcelle, they're sitting at the table, they're eating. I love this scene. I really like that they show Garcelle in her house dealing with her kids and showing what everyday mothers have to do. So I really like that part about it. And it also showed Jade came downstairs for some reason with an attitude. I don't know if something happened before they started filming and his attitude carried over. He had an attitude. And his brother, Jax, tells Garcelle, because Garcelle is sitting there going, I don't know what I'm going to do. And Jax goes, look, take away all of his charges for all of his phones. And that way, as they start to go dead, I was like, oh my goodness, we know what kind of dad he's going to be when that finally takes place. His poor kids, they're not going to be able to use technology if they get an attitude. So next, we go to Lisa and Harry's home, and it shows this beautiful, delectable table of food. And Harry, not food, no, it shows him cooking the food, but the the scene is beautiful. And it shows their garden, which they have all kinds of vegetables in it. And Harry says, you need spinach. So Harry and I are on the same page with that. I eat spinach like almost every day. I'm not real big on meats as much as I used to be, even though every now and again I do love a good cheeseburger with coleslaw. I'm from the South, so we put coleslaw, onions, uh, ketchup, and tomatoes and cheese, or even extra cheese on our cheeseburgers. But coleslaw is the main thing that we do here in the South that is different than what most other regions do in the country. I know up north they put relish. When we lived up north, I used to try to put relish on mine. I do not like relish on a hot dog or a hamburger. I just could not get used to it. I do like sauerkraut on a hot dog. But I was listening to another channel and they said they were talking about what the hot dogs are made of now. And I'm like, I cannot even eat a hot dog now after knowing that. I don't know if I have trolls or if I have Google. Google, if it is you, could you please stop putting my videos at the bottom? Thank you. I digress. And also click the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell. So I was talking about Lisa and Harry's, beautiful place. Harry is in the process of cooking, and he says he's going to make some bolognese and pasta for the event that Lisa is planning for Garcelle, that Garcelle doesn't know about, even though she's invited all the women, and she's also invited Garcelle, but it's going to be really a surprise birthday for Garcelle, which we will see Sutton actually messes up. So, I know what I was telling you too. One of my favorite vegetarian type of meals that I have when I have spinach is I like spinach, mashed potatoes, and beets. I love beets. So, and I cut them up, make them, put them in the fridge, and have them like all week. And they're good for you. If you haven't tried a good beet, you need to eat it every day, especially through this pandemic. Okay. People say that Harry and Lisa don't live together. Do you all believe that? Do you believe that Harry and Lisa are just putting on a show for us? I do believe that they do live together. I believe that it is misinformation or that someone has an axe to grind with Lisa and they're trying to create damage in her marriage, even out here on these YouTube streets, you all. I believe Harry and Lisa live together. He's very comfortable in that home and in the kitchen and the cooking and everything. And I just don't think that Lisa would be the woman who would just be living with a man if that were so. I just don't believe that. And I don't think that you could get away with that. It would be all over the news, especially with her being a former soap opera daytime actress. So anyway, we're going to move forward. Kyle and Dorit meet at Rena's house because of Dorit's, let me see here. Kyle and Dorit meet up to go to Rena's house. Sorry. Kyle and Dorit meet up to go to Rena's house. And Dorit has her house decorated for Christmas and everything. And so they start talking about the decorations. I love Dorit's fashion. And I want to say that the way she has tried to brand herself on this show is really working for her, because she now is going to be branding herself with Nectaria. Nectaria is, according to Dorit, an accomplished bridal designer who wants to collaborate with Dorit on a wedding dress. I cannot wait to see that. I cannot wait to see that wedding dress. And so they get in their SUV and they're on their way to Lisa's house. And Harry has made the bolognese. Lisa comes out in this really fashionable leopard outfit, looks beautiful. And in walks Sutton. And just when I was beginning to like Sutton's fashion, remember earlier I said I liked the sweater she had on and I liked the pink pants she had on. Just when I was beginning to like all of that, she comes in with this ugly black flowery dress. I'm like, that is so. I don't like Sutton's fashions the way other people do, but I do love Dorit's fashions. And then in walks Garcelle. What in the world is Garcelle wearing with the fur around the wrist and the boots? I did like the boots. I just didn't like the rest of the outfit. And I know she has a stylist team who puts her together. Maybe she needs a new stylist team. She's beautiful. I've always thought Garcelle was beautiful from the days that she did the Jamie Foxx show. Remember a while ago, decades ago, her and Jamie Foxx had a show, or Jamie Foxx had a show, and she was the starring female in it. So I've always thought she was beautiful. However, on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I just happen not to like her fashion. Hi, trolls. I see you coming in and out. So anyway, um, so they start to talk about the age difference between Crystal and her husband. Crystal says that she was 20 when she met her husband and he was 40. And they're talking about that because of the Scott and what is Lisa's daughter's name? Scott Disick is dating Lisa Rinna's daughter. So they're talking about that because of that. But anyway, the ladies all show up, and let's see here. They finally sit around the table and they eat. And Kathy, no, okay, let me get to this part, okay? Da 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 da. They sit around the table, they start to eat. Garcelle, they really enjoy the bolognese, and it looks delicious. You can tell Harry's a good cook. I'm trying to see here. I'm almost done here, you guys. It really was not a whole lot. And I do get a little turned around. I need to make better notes in terms of what I would like to say whenever I'm doing these commentaries, because I think people don't show up because my process is choppy. I know it's choppy. I probably need to work on it before I even come on air, but it's a lot even getting to where I am, and it's choppy. Okay, this is a whole process of planning. I see why people have whole production teams, and I have one. I'm just not comfortable. I cannot get comfortable with this, this pandemic, and now they have the Delta thing that's going on, and that has made me even less comfortable. I digress. At any rate, they're sitting around the table. They're talking about Scott Disick, and Harry says that he really cannot talk because he was 29 and Ursula was 44 when they had Dimitri. So he really cannot say a whole lot, about that, which is an honorable thing for a dad to recognize. So they start to open up gifts, right? Or did they bring the cake out first? I cannot remember. I think they brought the cake out. They brought the cake out first. And they sing happy birthday to Garcelle. That's a great thing. They ask her to make a wish, and her wish is she wants him hung like a horse. I digress. I digress. I mean, anyway. But the funny point was that Kathy goes, I didn't know Garcelle liked horseback riding. In her confessional, I guess the producers asked her, what did she think about Garcelle's wish? And she goes, well, I didn't know Garcelle liked horseback riding. Oh my goodness, I liked her in this episode. The previous episodes, I was very leery because I didn't understand her demeanor and I couldn't tell if she was drunk or high or what was going on, or if she was on meds, allegedly. I could not tell. This episode, she was rather funny with her comments, okay? But so we have the birthday. Right after the cake and everything, Garcelle is opening up a gift from Crystal and Kyle and someone else. They got her a ring, and Crystal, it was a beautiful ring that Crystal got Garcelle. What a beautiful gift to get a friend, because now every time they wear it, they have to think of you, right? So, let's see what's next. Give me one moment, guys, so I can look at these notes here. So this is what the point I wanted to make. Right after Crystal provided a gift to Garcelle, I think what happened with Sutton, pay attention to her pathology. Sutton has a pathology to her. And it's not a dangerous pathology, but it is a very imbalanced and quite narcissistic type of pathology. Sutton did not bring a gift to the party. All the other ladies did, and Garcelle was opening up the gifts. And if you notice, as Garcelle was opening up the gifts, Sutton starts to fiddle in her purse, starts to put on her lipstick, starts to fix her hair, look in the mirror, do things with the food, and then she creates this issue. And I think this whole issue that we're about to talk about was created because Sutton didn't provide a gift, and she felt some kind of way about that. Because she'd been sitting across the table from Crystal all that time. They ate and everything, and she hadn't said anything. And she knew Crystal was going to be there before she got there. She knew the ladies were going to be there. So she develops this issue, and Kyle notices it. So Kyle gives it attention. I would have ignored her the whole way. I would have ignored her. I would have ate my cake, had a blast, and ignored her. So she starts pitching a fit, saying, I can't be around people that I don't like, and stuff like that. Just saying all kinds of language at the table. Finally, Kyle takes her away. They start talking, and you know what happens. It always happens at their dinners. It always happens at a housewives' dinner. When you see the housewives going to dinner, you know the shish is about to break loose, okay? They go over, and Crystal is kind of blindsided because I believe she's trying to move past whatever the issue was, or she thought that the issue was over at the last dinner. And Sutton is just standing there, just all this language. I didn't write it down because I was trying to pay attention to it, but you all saw it. Garcelle ends up being the mediator. She says to Sutton, tell her what is bothering you. She says that to tell Sutton to say that to Crystal. So Sutton tells Crystal that she accused her of violating her and she can't get over it. And I love that Crystal stood her ground, because Sutton thinks that she's the only one who can speak. She keeps saying things. This is the third time I've heard her say to Crystal, be quiet and let me speak. Be quiet and let me speak. I'm like, Sutton, shut up, okay? Yeah, Sutton, shut up. That's her name. That's what it should be, Sutton, but I should have said Sutton, okay? And Crystal does not back down. She stands her ground. And I'm so happy about that. She said, I'm not going to apologize for using that word. That word was appropriate. No one owes Sutton anything. So I don't know why Sutton had to rehash this issue. No one owes her anything. She is this entitled little Karen housewife. That's what I'm going to call her. She is the Karen housewife of housewives, telling people to be quiet so she can speak. She is getting on my last nerve, for real. Sutton is getting on my last nerve. I'm Team Crystal. Now, I'm not Team Crystal in the way that, if Crystal was to do something wrong or something that goes against my own value systems, that I would agree with her. I would not. However, in this occasion, on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I'm Team Sutton. I was so happy to see she stood her ground. She did not apologize. She did not back down. And saying that someone has violated you depends on the context in which it was used, Sutton. Okay? She didn't say you did something sexual to her. And Kyle even cleared that up for you. Because at the last dinner, recall, Kyle is the one who brought up the S word, SCX. I don't think you can say that on YouTube, yeah, YouTube. And so this week she clarified it when she said to Sutton, I don't think she was saying that about you though. But Sutton didn't want to accept it. She doesn't want to accept it. She is a Karen housewife. That's what I'm calling her. Karen housewife of the Housewives. You hear that, Googler? Because I know that one of you is a Google person who keeps coming on here. So why don't you get down in the comments and tell me what's going on with my videos, okay? And anyway, I digress. Next week, you're going to see Crystal go in further on Sutton whenever she tells her that she is inappropriate and awkward. That's going to be a funny one. So that's all I have for you again. I'm just trying to get some videos out today, trying to raise up my subscribers. So if you come in here on the replay, please click like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. And we will see you in the next one. Have a great evening. And as I always say, be blessed. Many blessings to you. I am going to come on later and do In the News, end of week. I may put that one up later. I want to talk about this Rachel and Maria thing that's going on over at ESPN, as well as I want to talk about something that took place this week with the U.S. Navy. You guys, we are no longer the strong nation. Russia and China are coming for us. You better say your prayers. Okay? I digress. Be blessed.